I'm Justin Summers, and you're drinking at Moe's.
This is Drinkin at Demos, where we talk about the pros of pro wrestling in the Midwest while sipping on some brews with blessed beers and wrestling. That's my scene. Death matches and lucha libre, it's all so mean. I'm a straight up smart goofball, not no kiss ass. I stand tall when it comes to wrestling. I'm the king. I know every move, every fling. Get ready for a wild time with Drinkin at Moe's, where we don't quit. Drinkin at Moe's, that's where it's at, like a power bomb. We hit hard, never flat. Fucking right, we're living the dream. Talking about wrestling, always a scream.
You know, I've always said here at Drainamos, just because it says drinking at Moe's does not mean it has to be alcoholic. So I'm happy to say Drinking at Moe's is sponsored by Prince Nana Coffee. The exact same guy you see every week on Dynamite, on Collision. Yes, he has his own coffee and it's freaking delicious. They don't even roast those beans until you've placed your order. And you might be telling me, hey, Big Mo, I'm more of a tea guy. They got you covered there too. Use the referral link in the description of this video. And let's get you dancing like Prince Nana with Prince Nana Coffee. All right, everybody, welcome Drinking at Moe's. Big Mo here. You know the drill by now. YouTube, like, subscribe, share, comment. All that good stuff on the YouTube because, well, YouTube's algorithm is a pain in my ass. We are most audio platforms too, so don't forget about those. Well, that's out of the way. Excited to have with me from Island Pro Wrestling, Justin Summers. How you doing, man?
Doing good, Mo. Thanks for having me on, brother. And
Oh,
yeah, welcome to our algorithm. So
yeah, yeah. No, I was excited when you reached out, and I'm like, I was at a show here in Omaha this last Friday, and I was like, holy, I was talking to people. I'm like, holy crap, yeah, I'm actually, I kind of joke about some of the following that I noticed in the analytics that, oh, I'm going international, like that says
oh,
like,
you're the international man now. We're in Canada.
yeah, I know, right? And that's what I was telling them at the show. I'm like, dude, I'm going international.
Yeah, we had a bunch of people on our algorithm too, and it was like India, India, India. So I was like, we're making it big in India.
Oh yeah, no, like I was surprised when I was seeing places like the ones that were notable, the UK.
Yeah.
That was like, holy crap, okay. And then I forget if it was just on Spotify or what, but China of all places.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay, well, I would try to learn how to say thank you in Chinese, but I don't know how to do that yet.
It's unbelievable what reach you have now that the internet is everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Like no market left untapped.
Oh god. Yeah. And when I started this, I was just thinking it would be fun to start off talking to my friends in the business that are here local to me. And then I got to thinking partway through that, I'm like, man, I'm having too much fun with this, but sooner or later I'm gonna run out of people. So then I just
Now but
think
the
I
internet, my friends. Now but the internet.
not with it. Yeah. So that's where I was like, man, I I'm gonna reach out to people outside of my area because I'm like, I'm having too much fun. And then now I've had people that have gone on to get signed by AEW, WWE. Like one of my first real big ones was he's backed by Bronson Reed now. When
Okay.
he was in between, doing kind of double duty for Impact at the time and New Japan, and Billy Starks. I had her on.
So I mean, the reach works,
The
right?
reach, it
Like
works.
the reach works. So
So,
even with us too, with our Island Pro Wrestling promotion, like we're not limited to who's in our community now. We can
it,
reach everybody and bring them on in and
oh
showcase them to
yeah,
our fans. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely. So, first thing before we get into some island pro wrestling business,
yeah.
I ask everybody, what got you started as a fan, and then what got you deciding to get involved in the wrestling business?
So as a fan, uh, that's a loaded question.
Can be.
Like yeah, there's so many nostalgia moments that you could like bring up or whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
some so like I've always like kind of watched wrestling growing up, but there was one specific segment that stuck out to me, and that was WrestleMania 17 with the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys and Edge and Christian and the tables, ladders, chairs
Oh
match.
yeah.
And like after that, I was like, okay, I'm hooked. Like, yeah, that was a masterpiece, right? So
Oh yeah.
then of course, like I remember rewatching all of the old school wrestling with Bret Hart and stuff, and it just brought up like all these core memories for me. Watching Stone Cold and like The Rock and everybody really. The Undertaker was always my man. Like, and even to this day, like all his podcasts that does, like I'm up to
Oh yeah.
date on all the Taker stuff. So.
Oh yeah. No,
He's
he does a good job there.
yeah. And then I mean getting involved in wrestling, it's kind of weird. I only recently got really involved in wrestling. I come from like a music background. I used to do a lot of promotion work with music. Like I put on over 300 concerts. So I always liked wrestling, and then there was a local promotion here that was put up for sale, and I said, geez, why not take an adventure? So like I called my best man Chris and I was like, Chris, you want to buy a wrestling company? And he was just like, hell yeah, let's do it. So
Okay.
I mean, back in January is when we bought the company, and we decided to sell off some ownership, and we built a board of directors. So there's seven of us involved in the promotion now, and like everybody kind of has like their niche little area of expertise, and like we all come to the table every Sunday on an investors call and map out what's going on this week, what happened last week, what can we do better, who should we get, like yeah, it's been fun. Like in the last like 6 months of my life, wrestling has become like a staple of my everyday life.
Okay. Because yeah, now you just actually jumped in and answered what my next question was going to be about
I,
that new ownership and how that came about. So that's interesting because I know a promotion here local to me, the original owner had since passed, and he left it in his will to some guys that are running it now. And
Oh, that's kind of cool, man, to have that second gen carrying the torch. Like when I bought the wrestling company, that was a big thing for me too. My son is 9 years old right now and like really into the wrestling. And I was like, how cool would it be for his dad to own a wrestling promotion? And
yeah,
like, like how many other kids are going to school saying like, my dad owns a wrestling company or whatever.
oh yeah, and then you know, much like oh
Yeah, just
there we
one
go.
second. It's getting all messed up on me.
No, you're good on my end.
Okay.
There we go.
Ah, sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, I was just thinking because a
Oh,
couple.
that's the Canadian in me. Sorry. Let me just sip my Tim Hortons coffee here again.
Oh, you're good, man. Like I was just thinking a couple months ago, going to a show for that same promotion, there was a guy standing behind me talking about he was he was taking his son, and that was his first show. And I'm like, it just got me thinking, man. My son now approaching 5 months old, and I'm like, man, I
Give,
told him I
give it
can't
some
wait.
time.
I can't wait till I get to
Yep.
that point. And actually, my wife and I actually met at a different promotion in town, and we're friends with the guys that run it and stuff. So we're like, you know what? We found a he's technically already been to his first wrestling show because we were like, hey, we're gonna take him and show him off to our friends.
Exactly. Take
So,
them down and meet the community, right?
oh yeah, so
Yeah,
that
that's
was that
awesome,
was a
man.
fun time.
Just give it some time. Like, you get them to a show at the proper age, and who
Oh yeah,
knows, you may see the next budding wrestler in the
eh,
family.
not if my wife has anything to say about it.
Yeah, my wife too. My wife too.
But I he's already given me some laughs when it comes to wrestling because he literally I was holding him shortly. Yeah, this was shortly after he was born, and all of a sudden I just felt like I didn't know if I was having heartburn or something, but I felt something warm on my chest, and then I like lifted him a little bit, and I'm like, damn it.
Yeah.
So my a friend of mine that does a post show for that show that I was watching, I literally chimed in the chat and got them all laughing. I said, my son was so excited about the show, he peed on me.
Yeah, exactly. He couldn't contain himself anymore. He just had to let her go.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, he's already given me some laughs.
So, how
But
many promotions are in your guys' town then?
um actually in Omaha there's two.
Okay.
Yeah, we're lucky. There's some parts of the state where yeah, they don't have anything. Although
Yeah, there's some remote parts here in East Coast Canada too. So like a lot of the promotions are kind of territory-esque. They try and hit like little towns kind
yeah.
of all around just so they're spreading the fun and reaching more fans, right?
Oh yeah. No, that's definitely awesome. I know of a lot of promotions, big and small, that try to do that, including Sammy Callahan's promotion, Revolver. They've been, you know, for the first little bit, they've been kind of flip flopping between Dayton, Ohio, and Des Moines, Iowa.
Mm-hmm. Slipknotville.
Yep, but now
Yeah.
they're going to. I know they were just in Chicago. They've been popping up in Texas quite a bit. They're going all over the place.
It's kind of cool. I was after watching WrestleMania week happen there well, I guess almost 2 weeks ago now. Um, that was something that jumped into my mind too. Was like, why can't I bring IPW down to New Orleans next year and do a promotion show down there during WrestleMania week, right?
Hey, yeah, I mean, you probably have to jump on it pretty
We're
early.
already on it. Yeah, we're already doing that exploratory stuff, right?
I was
So,
I was gonna say, I would imagine if that idea is already in your head, you're probably already.
oh yeah, yeah.
So
So, but I mean, with being a new promotion here too, like you
yeah.
don't want to jump too quick, but it's always good to do some research, right?
Oh yeah. Doesn't hurt to see what it would take.
Yeah, exactly. Just see what it would take.
Oh yeah. So you guys got a show coming up June 7th at
Yep.
the PEI Brewing Company.
Awesome
Game
venue, Mo. It's an awesome venue. I don't know if you had the time to check out any of our videos and stuff from
I
our
have.
first event. Man, I can't rave that venue enough. They got these like big wood beams
I was
going
gonna
around
say,
everywhere. There was a couple chandeliers hanging around. It was
hey,
kind of
that
felt like fancy wrestling, but
that
um,
is awesome.
there's like one beam that goes right across where the top of the ring is, and it's got to be like 16, 18 feet up. And I was telling the venue, I was like, you got to let me hang a title from there and do a ladder
Oh, dude,
match. Like,
totally yeah,
yeah,
yeah. That
100%.
was where my head was going the first time you said. I'm like, ooh, ladder
First time,
match.
first time I seen the beam, I was like, ladder match. It's got to
Oh
be a
yeah,
ladder match.
oh
Yeah.
totally, totally. And you know what? You get a high enough ladder. I saw a spot recently where somebody I don't know if they were on a ladder or if the ceiling was just lower, but to get away from somebody, they literally just grabbed on to like a, I think it was in that video, it was like a pipe, and they just like
Just
lifted
like
their leg.
skithered away.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, that could totally happen there too.
Yeah, exactly. And as all things, there's risk to it falling down.
Ah, yes. Oh man. Yeah, giving me memories of stuff like, well, hell, TNA just as of this recording just recently had another Ultimate X match. So like,
Yeah, so speaking of TNA, on our next our card, we have Alex Silva coming, and
I
he was one of the TNA originals, right?
yeah.
So that's pretty exciting. I'm stoked to see him wrestle in a ring.
Oh yeah. No,
Sad
no.
part is I have to watch it like the day after because I'm
Mm,
so busy making sure everything's
it,
going on.
oh
So
god, yeah. No, I've always thought about what it would be like to actually be running a show, but then the people I know that do, yeah. It,
I hardly get to see the fun stuff until the day after.
oh yeah, no, there's so much running around. It's like, yeah, I try to see if I can talk to him at some point, but then it's like,
He's
yeah,
busy right now.
yeah, he's pretty busy, so I don't. But
Well, when you're trying to get a bunch of staff in order, and you have
oh,
like 20 plus talent members there, and you got to queue
yeah,
everything up, like it's a process. It's a process.
oh, I can imagine. Now the show June 7th, titled "Game On." You got, and I mean, correct me here. The first round matches have been announced for this heavyweight title tournament. Is it all going to be in one night, or is it going to be split up?
So we're gonna do it over the course of two shows. So
Okay.
we're gonna do IPW Game On as the introductory, and then the tentative name is Game Over on the next one because you're Game On the right first one,
Ah,
right?
like
So
it. I like it.
so so I don't know if I can turn the camera here enough, but I do have the championship belts.
You know what? I thought I saw it at the beginning there. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is
So
awesome. Nice
yeah,
looking
and
belt.
and I really like our belts because a lot of the belts you see, especially on the indie scene and stuff like that, it doesn't usually has like championship in it or something, but this one is like a custom made belt to have our logo on it. Like and fortunately, like when we bought the company, this belt has already been well traveled. It's been defended in Maine. It's been defended like in all sorts of parts of Canada too. So like it's got some notoriety to it already.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. And going into some of these first round matches, I mentioned that I one name jumped out to me when I first started seeing these matches announced. He's a past guest. He's real. He's raw. He's
Ah,
August Artois
the
going up
international draw.
the international draw. Yes, I can't forget about that part because, yes, that was something. Yeah, he's been all over Thailand multiple times, done all over, and he's going.
UK, Ireland, England,
Yeah,
14 different states throughout America, and
yeah,
now we got him debuting up here in Canada.
that is awesome.
Yeah.
And he's going up now. Okay, even with the amount of episodes I've done so far, I'm still learning about new places, new people. He's going up against Muscle Beast Wesley Pipes. I know you kind of brought him up, but what can we expect from that match? Because, I mean, just going off of some of the footage that I've seen so far and what I know about August, I'm like, okay, that one's going to be good.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be one for the highlight reel afterwards for sure. So they have a past conflicting history. Wesley Pipes was actually the holder of this heavyweight belt in the old era of
Mm.
IPW, and he took it down to Maine and defended the belt against August in a promotion in Maine. So I don't think August ever really got over losing to Wesley during
Mm.
that bout. And that was a hard fought match. I think that's still on YouTube. You could probably dig
I could
that up
probably dig,
somewhere.
yeah, probably
Uh,
could.
but I mean, just having that natural volatility between those guys, and
Mm.
I mean, there, I attempted to have a group chat with everybody to make it nice and sweet, but there's a few players that don't like to play nice. There's some people like to take their ball and go home, and
Yeah.
yeah, there's some animosity there. So I think that's going to really kind of like move into the squared circle there.
Oh, and that's going to lead to some entertaining stuff, that's for sure, for your crowd.
Yeah, and I mean Wesley is a fan favorite here. He's been a staple of IPW promotion for years. Whenever we took over the company, we actually stripped everybody of the belts. We have two belts. We got the heavyweight belt, and we have a mid card belt that we call the Prince Edward Island title. That title can only be fought for or defended here in Prince Edward
Mm.
Island. Um, so whenever we took the belts back, there was a less than cooperative member to get the belt back to the promotion. So we actually contracted Wesley Pipes to go as a bounty hunter and retrieve our belt for us.
Ah,
So
interesting.
we
Kind of similar to what well, it sounds like it went a little bit better for you guys so far than it did
oh yeah, we
for
got our belts. We got our
oh
belts back.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
But going back to the days of WCW when Bischoff and Russo did the whole like take them from everybody.
Oh yeah. There was at one point I was doing another podcast with some like good local friends here at the BWF podcast, and yeah, I was just in the background. WCW, we're getting those belts back. So yeah, they had brought on Zane Valentine, who was the holder of the PEI belt at that time, and they had no idea. Or sorry, Zane had no idea that they were going to patch me in, and they patched me into the podcast, and I was just like, "Give me my damn belt back, you fools!" Like, yeah, it was fun, man. Like, and building storylines is so fun. It's so
Oh yeah,
fun.
and it's something you independent wise. It doesn't seem there's a lot of promotions that heavily feature a lot of storylines. They kind of have their main ones, the main like the heavyweight title or
Mhm.
whatever it be, but multiple in one show doesn't seem to happen all that much. So when you have a good one, it's like, hey, awesome.
So, and that's the thing too. Like we're doing the heavyweight tournament, so that's going to be the bulk of our next show for Game On. But we're also having Zane Valentine defend the PEI belt against the Maritime Luchador Fantana. So, I mean, anybody coming to the show is getting two title. Well, it's all title matches. Everybody's vying for a title, right?
Nice. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
kind of going, reminded me again of like, oh, we kind of steered away from it, but when WWE used to do the Night of Champions, or like every title,
Yeah, it's all up for grabs.
which
Yeah.
I mean, I I like that sort of thing. It's like, man, just
As,
put them.
as a one-off, it's cool, but you don't do it every year, something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, if it all kind of lines up that you could do something like that, sure.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Now, now another match: Bobby Boyette, and hopefully I pronounced that right, versus Rugged Rick Owens.
Oh yeah, looking forward to that. That's going to be some heavy hitting. Rugged Rick Owens is a smash and bash sort of guy. Like I don't know if you've
Right up
seen the
my alley.
footage from yeah, if you've seen any of the footage from Takeover, we had him there too, and he threw Logan Green around, and then just out of nowhere slams him with a stunner to finish the match. Like it was fantastic. And then Bobby, like I can't say enough good things about Bobby. Like even like kind of behind the scenes with Bobby, he came up, he offered some good insight to a new promotion owner like myself. He brought up some viable points of contention, like things that we could do to get better, things to look out for, all that sort of stuff. And then whenever he got in the ring, he was the most professional guy in the world, put on a fantastic match. He went up against Fantana. And it was kind of like a David and Goliath thing there with
I
Bobby
was gonna
being
say,
such a big man and Fantana being the high flying luchador, right?
yeah,
So
I was gonna say, I remember seeing Fantana in some footage. I'm like, okay. I mean, when I got introduced to independent professional wrestling, it was down in Southern California, like a hub of North American lucha libre action right there.
just a
So
hotbed, yeah.
totally. So like I got a little spoiled with some of the lucha libre action I got to see down there. So when I'm seeing it other places where, I mean, up in Canada, you don't think too much of, the Mexican style too much.
Well, and that's one thing I learned as a promoter in the last 6 months was the lucha style. Everything is on the opposite side of how everybody is trained for the Western wrestling techniques, right? So it definitely has its quirks and quirks, and like stands out more than the common Western wrestling fan would normally be used to, right?
Oh yeah, nope. And
So
I love it. Like I remember first time I got to see like lucha libre tag team match, and I'm like, whoa, what's this? They didn't even tag. Like, oh wait, oh, so that's how they can do it.
yeah, and
Oh,
man, like I watched so much Lucha Underground, like,
oh dude, I
and I
love that.
mean, seeing Penta and Ricochet and all those
Mm.
guys start to take off from that promotion and get signed to some big money stuff.
Oh,
Like, I'm so
totally.
happy for them because they earned every step of the way
Oh,
there.
I'm huge fan of Lucha Underground. I've been lucky enough to have a handful of people from that show on, including former
That's awesome.
former Lucha Underground champion Marty the Moth.
How are you? The internet is doing all this, isn't it?
And I was lucky enough to see this guy live before Lucha Underground, but being the fan that you are of it, you might remember those famous B vignettes where it was like kind of a cheesy car salesman sort of thing,
Yeah.
and he had like something like for to get fame.
I can't wait until IPW can do those things, man. It's gonna be
Oh man,
awesome.
that that would be epic. But you know how I had you do the intro thing? I'm like, oh my, I didn't ask him, but
Oh,
I sure thought in my head, I'm like, oh my god, that would be so awesome if he did that
hey, you
without
got the internet. You could reach back out.
oh without me even asking him. He did it. And
That's
like
a professional.
I had to be like kind of like try to, but as soon as I got done recording, I'm like, oh my god, he did it.
The old fanboy comes out,
Oh,
eh?
totally. Totally.
Yeah.
I will totally admit I fanboyed like crazy.
Yeah, I mean that's awesome. Like, and as I said before, like having like Penta and Ray Phoenix at
Mm,
WrestleMania, like come on,
mm.
like
Oh,
look at how they've come along, man.
oh, totally. Now,
And then now TKO buying
oh yeah.
Lucha Libre AAA. Like that's
Oh,
another big
that's
move
gonna
too.
be, yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out.
I was surprised they didn't play into that during WrestleMania. I figured with Randy Orton's special guest,
Mm,
they were going to
that,
pull somebody from AAA.
I mean, heck, they they did kind of with Ray Phoenix when Vikingo came in, so there was a
Yes.
little bit, but going back to Randy Orton thing, I the amount of wrestling that I watch, there's not too many like jaw dropping leap off the couch moments for me anymore.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But when Joe Hendry's music hit, I was like, whoa, whoa.
Man, huge for Joe Hendry, huge for the whole promotion to be recognized on that stage. And that whole segment played out great.
Oh, totally.
Randy left looking strong, and it looks like Joe's got to do a little more work to make it to the WWE, right?
Oh yeah, and like I, he, they didn't make him look bad.
No, exactly.
He
But
got
they
a good.
played that whole like snake side of Randy Orton too, right?
Oh yeah,
So
they gave him a good showing. But thinking back to Joe Hendry, TNA World Champion,
mhm.
you got somebody, a TNA original, Alex Silva coming in, going up against Giant Orion.
Yeah, you wait for that match, Mo.
Oh,
I honest to God, I've seen Giant Orion a handful of times at shows and stuff like that. That dude is a beast of a man.
I've
He
seen
stands at like
pictures.
6'9" or something like that. He's almost 7 feet. Uh, like there's some high action shot to him on YouTube. I would hate to take a choke slam by that guy because he comes
Oh,
down with you.
yeah,
Uh,
because you're getting lifted above his head and having to come that whole way down.
he's also jumping into it. So
Oh, so
yeah,
you're getting even higher up. Oh boy.
yeah. So just a beast of a man, and like he comes from an MMA background originally
Mm.
too. So it's not even just like he's a trained professional wrestler. He's a fighter. Like
Oh,
he ain't intimidated by too much, I'd say. So
yeah, I would venture to say so, judging from everything you've been saying, and you know,
but
it got
Alex
me.
Silva too. Alex Silva can he can run with the best of them, right?
Yeah.
He just came off a couple shows over in France, did a really great job over in France, and I think I'm not sure if it's this. I think it's the tail end of this week. He's heading over to Germany,
Mm.
and he's wrestling with the German Wrestling Federation over there for a couple weeks. So like
Nice.
another well-traveled and
Oh,
experienced
definitely.
guy coming from TNA original. Like super excited to have him. That's
Oh,
going to be so. Besides the August Artois and Wesley Pipes match, I'm really looking forward to that one
this one.
too. So,
Oh yeah. No, everything that you've been saying, I'm like, yeah, those would be two matches that, yeah, would definitely sound right up my damn alley. And you got me thinking with the Giant Orion and his choke slam. It got me thinking with the professional wrestling and the amount out there. Originality can be kind of few and far between sometimes. But when you mentioned that with his choke slam, that it's not just a regular run of the mill choke slam, that he's actually jumped a little something to make it unique.
yeah, he's putting the
Jumping in with
gusto
it.
into it. Yeah, he's putting the gusto into it for sure. Like just like you can have a regular powerhouse come out and do the big power moves. This guy gets behind the moves. So
Oh yeah.
this is what I mean. Like, there's a piece of me that's like, ooh, I'm sorry for that matchup, Alex Silva. You're really gonna earn it that night, buddy. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh man, that's gonna be something. I can't wait till that one is out there for everybody that can't be there in person. That,
So another big thing we are gonna do though
mm,
is we're doing streaming it all on Twitch. So
nice.
So back during the pandemic, there
Mm,
when WWE had shut down for a while, there was major talk of WWE moving on to Twitch, so they could do everything from the Performance Center and still reach an audience.
yeah.
That never came to light, obviously, because WWE stayed open during the pandemic and was able to live or still stay on the networks. So Twitch was kind of set up to receive WWE. And right now, like if you go to Twitch, there's not a lot of wrestling content on there. So what we're doing is we're on the first show. I needed a proof of concept that the Twitch wasn't going to destroy itself while we were putting on the show or something.
Yeah.
Um, but that worked. We had over 183 unique viewers on the Twitch channel while we were doing the show. So this time around, we're going to promote the Twitch a little more. People in Omaha, Nebraska. There's going to be people down in Florida. I did a podcast yesterday with some guys at Illinois. I want to rep High C Media and the Four Ropes podcast
I
guys.
think I saw the post about that actually.
Yeah, exactly. So like I've been kind of going on with a bunch of different people and really telling people you don't have to just be here in Prince Edward Island to experience it all. We had three different camera angles last time. We're hoping to add a ring post camera angle this
That
time.
would be pretty sweet.
Yeah, so I mean, like we're trying to slowly build the platform up and up and up. And once we're past the proof of concept on it now, but we want to offer a really good free show to people who can't be there in person. And as it grows, maybe we decide to put a buy donation, or then maybe we step it up to a small paywall or something like that,
Yeah.
because eventually our audience is going to be bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
So even from like the takeaways from our first show at IPW Takeover, we had like 215 people in the chairs. We had 183 people on the Twitch, and we had over 800 people on the live stream. So like 1,200 people viewed our product
Right?
for our very first product. So now, if we go on a little bit of a promotion and talk to people like
Yeah.
yourself and like-minded people, then we can reach different algorithms like we were talking about,
Yeah.
and people can enjoy the show because we're putting a lot of effort into the writing and the makeup of the show. We want lots of people to enjoy it.
Oh yeah. No, that sounds amazing. Like definitely a good concept to have. Like, yeah, you start out and then, as things get rolling, yeah, maybe do a bit of a pay-per-view sort of concept.
Yeah, something like that. Like that's what I mean. Like we'll do it for free for a while to make sure it's gonna work and we get all the kinks ironed out and stuff like that. Then maybe we do it by donation. If you want to watch the show, you can throw us a bone. It helps us build and keep bringing in better and better talent, right? So
Oh yeah,
and that's
definitely.
the whole goal. Like the previous owner in the old era of IPW, he had brought in a lot of WWE star power and stuff. And that was one thing I did promise to the existing fans is that I do want to keep a trend of bringing in names that are going to be a performing to the top notch value that you're paying to sit there and watch the show, and b bring fan experience because a lot of these WWE guys, XAEW and stuff like that, like they're out mingling with our crowds because that's what the people want, right?
Yeah.
We offer VIP matches. Those will probably be dark on the Twitch, just for like the paying VIP
Yeah.
people. But I mean, we want to really make sure that the fans leave saying, "I got my money's worth. I can't wait for the next one. I'm going to buy my next ticket right now." So
Oh yeah, definitely sounds like you guys are on the road to making that happen. Now, there is one more first round match that we need to talk about. Big Bad LG Logan Green versus the Ghost Ricky Mortis.
yeah. So just a little bit of backstory there from Takeover, our last show. There's some bad blood brewing. Um, there was a couple interruptions in some matches.
I was gonna
Uh,
say, yeah, definitely was seeing that.
yeah, exactly. So, when we had a tag team match going on, there's a tag team here called DDT, Dudes Doing Things. And
I love it.
yeah, I know, it's great, right? So, I mean, Sebi and Daniel Wall there put a number on to a couple guys in AWOL, and Ricky Mortis, the ghost, had to kind of burst out of the backstage wielding that steel chair over there to make sure to protect the boys. So there's a little animosity there because Logan Green is tied in with the dudes doing things. So
Mm,
that's kind of going to be like a pretty grudgy match. Uh, there was a little bit of rumblings that things could go a little sideways if everybody doesn't play
Mm,
nice. There's been table talk, there's been chair talk, there's been a lot of that exciting wow factor going along with
mm.
the build up to that match. So
I
I'm
was
excited to see that one too. Like I feel so biased and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see this. I can't wait to see that. But I'm honestly like that excited to see these matches. So
oh man, yeah. Hey, you're definitely letting that excitement rub off on me because hearing about the backstories behind you know that tie into everybody or past matches that they've had with between August and Wesley Pipes. It's like,
yeah,
oh
even in other promotions, right? There's like
yeah,
animosity that these talent have had between each other. So, and I'm not saying like we booked it like that. It just kind of came naturally. Like we are like, oh, we think this guy and this guy would be paired off well together, and then it's just like, oh, geez, we didn't know that there was some real heat going on there. So,
but hey, most I there's bad apples out there, but I've noticed a lot that hey, if they're going to be making money and you know they're going to some people are going to be able to kind of put personal stuff aside and being like, okay, I can work with you even though outside here I kind of hate your damn guts, but
yeah. I seen a lot of our talent from the first show kind of do that. Everybody was super professional, and I mean, technically, it was our group's first event ever. So there was like kind of some greenhorns on our crew, and we're just kind of getting the feelers for what we're supposed to be doing at certain times and stuff like that. The talent was professional the whole time. They were behind us 100%. I think they really appreciated the production value that we were offering behind the show too. So that really played into it. We had pyro there.
I
We
was
had
I was gonna bring that up because
yeah.
not too many independent shows do you see them using pyro, and then I was seeing that I'm like, okay,
I'm gonna give a shout out to Alex Pickles at Housefront Productions. We went to school together. He's always been super excited to put on the best show for the fans, and he absolutely killed it with his team at our show.
oh that he did, yep,
Yeah, so
everything.
like we're locking those guys in. Like they had never had the opportunity to do a wrestling event before, so they were equally as excited to put the production behind a wrestling event. Like I remember approaching Pickles about it, and I was just like, "Hey, man, do you want to do some production for the wrestling event that we have going on?" And his eyes just like
Lit up like
almost, yeah, just like this has been my whole dream as like a lighting and sound technician to offer a production like this. And he was in so hard. I got a shout out to Jesse. He took care of all the audio. I got a shout out to Mike Hoy. He was running the Twitch and all that sort of stuff. And Jonathan, our ringside cameraman there, he was like right in on all the angles.
oh man, that is awesome. Good
Yeah.
job to those guys. I was able to catch some of the footage from Takeover, and yeah, dude.
And but Mo, there was things, right? There's
Yeah,
still takeaways after
yeah,
everything. Like
yeah.
we noticed that it was a little dark on the outside of the ring. We got a plan in place for the next one, so that's
There
not going
you
to be an
go.
issue, right? So this is what
Oh
I mean.
yeah.
Like we're a new promotion too, so we're
Oh
still
yeah.
kind of learning some ebbs and flows.
There's kinks with new stuff,
Yeah.
but it sounds like you guys definitely got a plan in place. Whenever something you notice something from one show that can improve, you get that plan going to improve that. That is awesome.
Yeah, 100%. There's always a takeaway.
Oh, definitely. Now, for those that can be there in person,
Oh yeah.
what do we got for the ticket information for those guys?
So everything is done on our website, islandprowrestling.com. You can buy actually until the end of this month. They're on special early bird pricing. We just sold out of the VIP section,
I was
so
gonna say, yeah.
sorry guys. That's get them while they're hot situation. But there's still general admission tickets left there. You can purchase them on islandprowrestling.com. We got the early bird savings on there right now, so save $5 on your ticket by getting them now. Um, we are expecting a much fuller crowd already than our first show. Now people have seen our production; they're seeing what we have to offer, so there's seems to be a lot more interest, I guess. So I wouldn't hesitate on getting the tickets because the venue is it's a fairly sized good venue, but 400 people is where we tap out there. So
Mm,
I mean, I wouldn't leave it to last minute because you run the risk, right? So
yeah, you
yeah.
run the risk of not being able to get in for sure.
Yeah, and I have to send you home and you have to watch it on the internet or something. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, if you
But
can be there in person, yeah, much better.
man, our crowd that we had was so into it. I was so happy we got those like cattle barricades because there was people just like reaming on them, like just chirping the wrestlers and everything. It was
Oh,
so
you gotta
good. I
love it.
loved it. Yeah.
That's part of the magic of independent pro wrestling because you get a the fans get to feel a little more a part of everything.
The
Like,
energy was there.
oh yeah, like you get at an independent show, yet you might get that sort of interaction at a WWE or AEW show. You might.
Yeah.
But then you're paying God knows like how much, like hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, a lot.
But an independent show, you're getting that interaction, you're getting to be that close and paying more than half of what you would pay at, the national TV stuff.
Yeah. There was a little girl that was at her last show, and she had this sign saying like "my first wrestling show" or whatever. And
Nice.
yeah, until one of the wrestling guys,
Uh,
managers, Eric Bass, came over and just shredded that thing up.
I think I saw that. Yeah.
And he's like, "Welcome to wrestling, darling." Like,
But yeah, no,
yeah.
you, but hey,
She was a
wrestling,
little upset, but I told her, I said, You're now part of IPW history. It was your first
hey,
show, and it was our first show, and we caught that on camera. So,
hey, yeah. And that leads into, they say wrestling is all about people caring more about moments. Like what moments from the show are going to make them remember and be like,
Mhm.
man, I got to go again. And that, and you telling the little girl that, I can only imagine and be like, oh, that is so cool. And then, like, I got to go again.
Yeah. And like, don't get me wrong, she was upset because her spine got fucked
Your
up.
side,
But
yeah, yeah.
but she definitely will remember that show because it was a fantastic card. It was a really good production, and like even her parents that were there with her, they've been to so many wrestling shows, and they're like, this was fantastic too. So um,
Nice.
I loved watching. Like I'm a little privileged, I guess. Whenever we were getting all set up for that event, the wrestlers all showed up for their call time, and they got a little bit of time inside the ring, doing a couple runarounds and stuff, just kind of warm up. And didn't the Pickles there, the production guy, set the pyro off for a test? And all these guys just instantly stopped. All these larger than
Like,
life men, and they're like, "We got pyro!" It was just
yeah.
like beyond stoked, right? They were just
Oh,
like
man.
over the moon about it. So
Oh,
it was
yeah.
so it was so fun all around. I cannot wait for the next one. I cannot.
Oh, man. I'm excited. And I can only imagine for those guys that night for that first one, you know, you grow up watching wrestling and seeing, that people enter with pyro and all this. And then, independence, yeah, pyro isn't as widely
Predominant.
used.
Yeah, yeah, it's not predominant.
So when you see that, holy crap, I'm gonna get pyro entrance. This is
Yeah.
awesome.
And the smoke geysers, you can't forget about the
No,
smoke geysers.
can't forget about that. Can't forget about
Yeah,
that.
exactly. No, but it was really cool. We had some of the talent come up to us after the show and be like, we've wrestled for 17 years, and this was one of the better productions that we've had a chance to work on, and nobody's ever presented me in that fashion before. And like the day after the event, we had 27 wrestlers reach out to us and be like, "Hey, how can we get in your ring? Because it looked fantastic, and I want to have that childhood experience come to life," right?
Yeah.
Like that was the first thing I thought about whenever I was like owning a wrestling company. Can't wait to walk through the curtains and have all the sparks shoot up. Like, right?
Oh man, that is
Come out to
awesome.
one of my favorite Metallica songs or something.
Oh, oh
So
yeah. Oh God, oh, so many ideas popping up in my head right now.
yeah, right. So
Oh man. So I have two categories here. One's bit of a name game. The other's some random questions. With the name game, I name off some people. You give me some quick thoughts on them, and I try to theme towards the guests as much as possible. And Canada, I figure hell, each of these guys, some of my personal current favorites that are at least originally from Canada.
okay. I'm
First
not the
one,
most well versed, but I'm going to give it the Scouts honored effort.
okay.
So
I don't think there'll be any issue with these ones. The first one, though, I actually, after I get your answer, I actually have a funny little story about almost running into this person.
okay.
Kevin Owens.
Ah, the son of an IT man.
Oh, those shirts he was doing in that feud with Cody. That was, oh man.
It was fantastic. I loved it. It's like that blue collar workmanship love, right? Like every tradesman was like, "Yep, yep, that's my man." Like,
Oh man. And like I gravitate towards some of those intense personas,
mhm.
dude. Especially when he's a heel, every bit intensity, and I love it.
him in that Sami Zayn match was
Ooh.
like, there was a part of me that was like, "Ooh, he really got hurt on that ladder. Like, he really got hurt on that ladder."
Oh yeah. But my funny little, oh well, the the getting him to be my words are hard right now. But when he got to have that match with Stone Cold Steve Austin, dude, I I was a little, knowing that because Stone Cold's like my favorite all time. So when he was, I was like a
316,
little,
baby.
I was like a little worried because I'm like, oh, the injuries and stuff. Is this gonna? But man, they did good. They did so good.
I think I think Austin will always put on a fantastic. Well, look at him at WrestleMania recently. He drives drives the ATV down, smashes it into the side of the ring after not
Just
even
gets in
making it
there
onto the ramp, and then crushes six beer in the ring. Can't even drive back. Right? Like,
because yeah, apparently when he crashed into the barricade, it like whatever wouldn't let the ATV
going
get back.
reverse or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was wild. But my funny little story with Kevin Owens. My parents, my wife, my sister, her husband, and her kids, we all went down to Disney World a couple years ago.
Okay.
And on the way out, I forget if I had to like bend down to tie my shoe or something, but I had to bend down. Well, as I'm getting back up, I slowly look up and I see that T Rex skull on his shoulder. And then I look up even further because I recognize the tattoo. I'm like, holy shit, that's Kevin Owens. But
It was
then
him.
but it was him. And then I see that he was with his family because there was part of me that's like, oh my God, I got to say something. But then I saw
Yeah.
he was with his family. I'm like, Uh,
Do you know
I
what
know
he
I saw him, so I'm fine.
that's the thing. Like, you got to respect these guys' personal space too. Like, can't fanboy all the time, but that's super awesome. It was
Oh,
like I was at the Edmonton International Airport one time and I seen Carrie King from Slayer. And I like rushed out to my car, called my wife. I was like, I just seen Carrie King, and she's like, pictures or it didn't happen. Like, I'm like, it lives in my mind. It lives in my mind.
same
So
with Kevin Owens. Although I will admit, as soon as I got back up, I I ran to catch up with my wife, and I fanboyed out a little bit. I'm like, oh my god, you will not believe who I just saw.
he's still over there. He's
Yeah,
still over there.
he's like right back there.
We could still go see him.
But yeah, I didn't want to ruin his family time.
And you know what, man? Like, he may not know that, but he would super appreciate that.
Oh, I bet. Now, next up, a guy that we talked a little bit about TNA. This guy definitely was a mainstay there for quite a while, and now he's doing his thing with AEW. Josh Alexander.
I'm not super familiar with Josh Alexander. I'll be honest with you. I do know he's a Canadian homegrown talent. And I mean, I'll do some more research on him for sure.
Oh,
But once again, it just goes to show the kind of talent that's coming out of Canada and the levels that they can reach to as well, right?
oh, most definitely. And he's,
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he trains at the Heart Foundation in Calgary.
I mean, I can see it.
Because Stu Hart had originally started the training facility out there in Calgary, and then
Yeah,
Brett took it over and stuff, right? So,
yeah, and
uh,
I know Natty and Tyson Kidd. They got
yep,
the dungeon down there in Florida.
yep. There's the dungeon. There's a pile of training facilities, and as a promoter now, I've been like kind of taking more notice to that, I guess you would say, is like all these different training grounds
Mhm.
because we want to bring the best up here for our promotion too, right? So getting to know these training schools, that was a big part of how we did our first show was like finding out the training schools around the Maritimes of Canada and just reaching out and just building that relationship and rapport with them that maybe they have some up and comers that they want to showcase appropriately, right? So,
Oh yeah. Now, next up, we talked about some TNA originals. This guy definitely he was a big part of Team Canada in those days. And now, he went to WWE and now he's back in TNA. Eric Young.
Eric Young. So, Eric Young, in his early days, I don't want to say he's kind of like flattened out a little bit, but there was definitely more gusto in the early days for sure. I don't know if it was just like that eagerness and drive was still there, but the last couple matches I seen from Eric was, I mean, I didn't see that hunger. I guess you would say like that he was trying to get in the early days. I don't know.
I can understand.
Like I still want to be respectful here, but at
Yeah,
the same time, it's not something that gets a pop from me anymore, right? Like,
yeah. No,
yeah,
there's definitely, especially when he first got back to TNA, there was that fire under him, and yeah, I can
well,
see.
I don't know how much of that stuff is like the promotion though, right? So like there can be some fantastic wrestlers that are doing some um, I don't want to say questionable things, but like operating under a different standard than maybe they
Yeah.
want to.
Mm.
So like I think they're the professional wrestlers. You should almost leave a lot of
Yeah.
that to them to kind of
Yeah.
figure out. Uh, but I mean, to each their own. And I mean,
Yeah.
we're not the type of promotion either to be like, hey, you got to go do this, that, and the other move, right?
Yeah.
We still want the talent to be talent on like
Mm.
they're in it for a reason. They got to where they're at for a reason. So
Oh yeah.
try not to limit people, I guess.
No, I definitely get you there. Now, last but not least for the name game here, might be a kind of sacrilege if I didn't bring up this guy and talk about pro wrestlers from Canada, Bret the Hitman Hart.
Who?
Bret the Hitman Hart.
I don't know who you're talking about. I wasn't raised on the Heart Foundation or any of that stuff. So I mean, dude, that storyline they had where they had Brett as a heel in America and
Oh
had
yeah.
him as the baby face up here in Canada,
Oh yeah.
they made so much money off of that.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And he, I mean, everybody thinks about Bret Hart now and like thinking back, and they instantly say like Montreal Screwjob, right?
Yeah.
That was a pivotal part of wrestling.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
like up here in Canada, growing up as kids, we always had these commercials on the TV. It was like Canadian Heritage Moment or whatever. That should be a Canadian Heritage Moment
That
because
right.
like it sent him down that path of going to WCW and like man, like
Mm. Or
right,
another Canadian heritage moment. I mean, that it could be considered that when they had that in I think it was an in your house Canadian Stampede where they had like at the end basically it seemed like the whole Hart family got all in the ring.
yeah, that was at the Calgary. I forget the name of the venue, but it was out in Calgary, and it was part of the Stampede production. Excuse me, out there, and it was a pivotal Canadian heritage moment because so many Canadian wrestlers have gone through the Hart Foundation and training with Stu Hart and Bret Hart, and like Owen was there, British Bulldog was there, Jim Neidhart, every like all these fantastic names that like we've come to know. A lot of them had roots through there. Um, it was funny you say Bret Hart too, because a friend of mine, Aaron Bishop, he was down in Vegas for WrestleMania with BWF podcasts there. He actually got to sit next to him on the plane ride back to Calgary. So,
No
like,
kidding.
well, just like sitting there with Bret Hart, and it's like, well, you got
Wow.
any stories for the plane ride home? Like,
Wow. That is
yeah,
plain right. I wouldn't ever forget.
I know, and like people are like, it's Bret Hart. Well, he still travels. He rides on planes. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a person. He's out there.
Oh yeah. Now
But you're right. He's probably one of the largest, if not the largest, Canadian staple name in wrestling for sure.
for
Yeah,
sure. Now, got some random questions. Some might be wrestling related, some might not be. Some might
yeah,
have absolutely nothing to do with anything we've talked about.
perfect.
So, first one, craziest in match moment that you were there to witness.
Craziest in match moment that I was there to witness. I mean, I keep talking about our last show, Takeover, but there was this. We did a fatal four way, and we had Spike Esty, we had Caden, we had Dominic Warrior, and we had Ryan Shamel. And in that match, those guys did the Tower of Doom and send everybody toppling over, which was pretty iconic. But then later, there was a headlock that turned into a triple headlock, which turned into a triple stunner, and everybody goes piling down. So, so I mean, like super fun,
Yeah.
like stuff by the guys there. But the thing that was even crazier was 10 days later, NXT ran the exact same moves in order. So I don't know if Shawn Michaels is out there watching IPW shows on Twitch or
Who
or
knows?
somebody creative is doing that, but they blatantly ripped us off. Let's put it that way. So we
Interesting.
we made a little video comparing the two segments, and we posted it on our YouTube there. It's been getting a lot of hits, but it's literally like move for move the exact same sequence of events. So I thought
Wow.
that was pretty cool to see that in person at our show and then see it 10 days later on NXT. So
That is wild. That
yeah.
is pretty wild. Yeah, I've been lucky enough to witness some pretty crazy moments myself.
Yeah, what's your favorite?
Oh God, out of the stuff that I've personally seen, there was my first ever death match that I got to see in person was actually the ending to that was nuts because they took four folding chairs, bridged two panes of glass, and then somebody lit the glass on fire.
My God.
Yeah, that was nuts. And then there was this one was actually on national television. They AEW did a Dynamite and Collision taping here in Omaha
Okay.
a while back, and uh, Adam Copeland versus John Moxley street fight. I was there for that.
That's gruesome.
I was third row, right by the entrance, and oh shit,
Oh, there you go.
there we go. But I was third row, right by the entrance, and that infamous nail board spot where it
Oh,
literally stuck.
no.
Yeah, my back hurt watching that, and I was third row. Like
I'm
it happened like right in front of me. Like I could literally see the skin pulling as they were trying to get it out. And my little clip of that moment
I
that
seen your clip.
I posted on YouTube
Yeah, I seen that.
was like 10,000 views in 24 hours.
Oh man, my back is still like tingling just thinking
Yeah,
about it.
yeah, and like you've seen moments where they've used similar looking boards before, and then you're like, nothing like that has ever happened. Like if it's laying on the ground, they might get suplexed and they might hit the wood part of
The
it,
wood parts, yeah.
not actually getting suplexed directly onto the nails. And oh
I mean,
god,
it just brings my memory right back to Mankind, Mick Foley, man.
oh
Like,
yep,
uh, wow, what a pioneer! To bring that to the main stage, yeah, throwing thumbtacks down. Everybody's like, "What is wrong with this guy?" And then now you see the evolution of the death matches, and like you're seeing the pizza cutter going across, and you're
mm-hmm.
seeing the light bulbs and the spikes and the tacks, and
Yep. Oh,
it's almost at the point where like the boys are like, we got to outdo the last one.
yep.
Who's gonna die today, boys? Like,
I mean, heck, there have been people that have, I guess, technically died in the death match. Nick
yeah,
Gage
Nick Gage.
literally died for like a couple, like what was it, like a
They brought
couple
him.
minutes.
They brought him back. They got
They
him
brought
back.
him back,
They got him back.
and yeah, that guy right there, one person that I'm on a mission to go to a show that guy is on
You should
because
reach out and try and get him on the show.
oh, I want to. I've talked to enough people that know him, but it's like
Internet.
the internet, so
Internet.
it can be a great thing, and then it can also be a not so great thing.
That's right. Yes, you're right there too.
But I just remember every time I see a match of his, and literally from the moment the first note of his entrance song hits, that whole venue turns into a mosh pit.
Yep, just pops off, man.
And I'm like, I don't care if I'm front row. I don't care if I'm standing against a back wall. I just want to be there in the middle of that.
Man, it's the energy, right? It's like you become a part of something bigger than
Mm.
you, right?
Oh, for sure.
It's that mob mentality
Mm.
takes over at that point.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now, next up here, I've kind of shown some of my hobbies behind me.
Yeah.
A hobby you have outside of wrestling.
Oh, geez. I am a Pokemon card collector.
Okay.
So I collect a lot of Pokemon cards. I keep most of them sealed up and tucked away. I like that whole kind of like
Mm.
mystique of what's still inside the box. But other hobbies, I play drums in a band called Herschel Jones. We've actually had some of our music at the IPW shows because copyright is a real thing. Um, but other than that, it's like I run multiple businesses. I own a couple construction companies, an electrical company. I got a young family of three and a wife. That keeps me pretty busy, and then I get
Yeah.
to do the wrestling on top, right? So
Oh yeah. Nope. I only have the one, and he keeps me busy.
yeah, right. And they always told me that it would like simmer down from the baby thing. It just only increases. So you're in for a fun ride, Mo.
Oh, I can only imagine. He's already showing a bit of his goofy personality, which I mean, for me being a natural goofball that I am, I'm loving it. But yeah, I can only imagine as he gets older,
Oh
he's
yeah, when my son came home from school and he said somebody called me weird, and I was like, "Well, you're my son. Of course you're weird."
oh yeah.
He
Oh
was just like, "I don't understand, but okay, I'm weird too." So
god. Oh yeah. Oh yep. I can only imagine my time is coming there. It's gonna be one of those oh, you always hear parents joking with their kids whenever they're adults and they start getting on their nerves. They're like, I hope someday you have a kid and he ends up just like you.
it happens. That happens.
So I can only imagine oh God, if that happens.
Shout out to my son Jackson. He he keeps it lively.
Oh, I can only imagine my one is gonna be keeping things very lively.
Yeah, all of your collectibles, make sure they're moved like 4 feet or up.
Oh yeah, no,
That's
the
a word to the
autograph.
wise from experience.
Oh yeah, no, the autograph stuff is definitely gonna stay up
Yeah,
there.
100%.
Yeah. Um,
Little fingers find their way, especially when they think it's cool too.
yo, God, yep. I can only imagine need, I'm gonna need to bolt some of this stuff down.
Plexiglass over top with a padlock.
Yep, yep. I'm gonna need that. I'm
Yeah.
sure. I'm sure I can manage something like that. All right. Anyways, now, Lord knows, I've had some things on what I like to call my wrestling bucket list. Stuff
Yeah.
in the business, shows I'd like to go to, venues I'd like to be at. Because heck, I've yet to go to a pay per view of any kind.
I
I
want to
want,
meet Green Shirt Guy.
mm. Now, for me, there's one that I don't know if it's going to be able to happen, but I would love it because I was stationed in San Diego, California,
Okay.
and WWE recently put out there that this year's Survivor Series is going to be in San Diego in Petco Park, which is the home of my favorite Major League Baseball team, the San Diego Padres. So I am like, oh God, I know enough people down there that they'd probably let me stay with them. I want to go.
It sounds like it would be a once in a lifetime experience for you.
Probably. So that is
Catch a
one
Padres game and then hit SummerSlam.
I I would love it. I mean, I've been to enough Padres games down there, but that leads me to my question: what is something on your wrestling bucket list?
Ooh, I definitely want to hit a WrestleMania.
Oh,
That's
that's up there on mine.
yeah. So like I, I was kicking myself in the butt that I didn't go to Vegas this year for it. But I just kind of came into that thought process a little late on the game.
Mm,
But with New Orleans coming up next year, I'd kind of mentioned briefly there that there could be some like exploratory options.
yeah,
It'd be super cool to put on a wrestling event for WrestleMania week in the same city that WrestleMania is happening.
that would. And hey, the amount of eyes that you would be able to get on your product through that.
It'd be fantastic, but it would just be like one of those fanboy moments for me. I would just be happy to be like, okay,
Mm,
we did something cool in the wrestling history, and I get to experience all these great shows, meet all these great people. Like, just even the media and stuff down there during the events, and like
yeah.
everybody that just kind of swarms in on the city for
Oh
WrestleMania.
yeah.
Like, that would
Oh yeah.
be such a thrill.
Oh yeah. I can only imagine. And me, yeah, I'm hoping that with Survivor Series coming to San Diego, which I considered like a second home to me, and me knowing enough people down there that it's like I can kind of pitch that to the wife and be like, hey, I wouldn't really have to worry about a hotel room.
Yeah, exactly. Doing it on the cheapie, getting those life experiences on the go. You know, the
Yeah.
little fellas growing up, we're not going to have all the time in the world. And
So yeah. So I mean, who knows? I mean, if anybody in my family ends up watching this episode, um, I know I got a birthday coming up in July, so if anybody who needs to know what gift to get me, I take a size Survivor Series ticket.
exactly, XL.
Yes. All, all right. Now, with the name of a show like I have, I feel like I have to ask this question.
Yep.
Favorite drink, alcoholic or otherwise?
So, favorite alcoholic drink, I wouldn't be a true Islander if I didn't say moonshine. Moonshine is a banging drink up here, and it's kind of a staple to our environment where we're at. Uh,
Okay.
but I've always been a fan of Crown Royal when I can't get my hands on Jack Daniels, and with all the tariff stuff going on right now, I can't get my hands on Jack Daniels. They took all the American booze off the shelves up here.
Oh, really?
Honest to God, man. Actually, today is election day here in Canada. Like, I went and I just voted before coming to meet with you. So,
Hmm.
like, there's like some geopolitical stuff going on, and I can't get my damn Jack Daniels right now. So, Crown Royal it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always coming to Jack. I do enjoy a good Jack and Coke. I like to put
Mhm.
grenadine in there. It
Yeah, buddy.
tastes like a Jack and cherry Coke. I love it.
Yeah, cherry Coke is what I was just about to say.
Yeah,
It
it's
gets
freaking delicious.
you're making a diabetic sweat here, Mo. Come on.
I mean, heck, I'll admit, yeah, I had a beer in a night, but most of the time I'm drinking Dr. Pepper when I'm recording
I
this.
actually I actually love the banquets, the Coors banquets. There's
Oh,
probably one of my favorite beers.
yep,
Yeah.
that's what I was drinking,
Yeah, buddy.
and
I'm
I'm
not so big on the Coors Light. Uh,
yeah,
and I don't know what percentage is the banquet?
I'm gonna look. Let me see. I'm not
Prob-
sure. I'm looking in the right spot.
Probably 3%.
Probably.
So
All
like a 3% beer here in Canada is like water for us. Like, we're raised on 3% beer instead of like 2% milk. So like like a heavy beer up here, you're getting into like 12, 13, 14, 15% beers, like heavy IPAs and stuff. I
nice.
find there's a lot of craft beers going on now. We got a
Okay.
lot of like, even where we're doing our shows at the PEI Brewing Company, they have their own whole line of beers that they offer.
Nice.
Yeah, it's. I wish you could come up to a show, Mo. I'd show you awesome beer and awesome wrestling.
That would be epic. I mean, heck, I know I'm still looking for more sponsors. I'm needing sponsors. Need to make sponsor money. Anyways, but yeah, I'm actually
Since you mentioned the magic word, I'd like to give a shout out to our sponsors: Jet Drywall and Painting, Coastal Current Energy Solutions, Beast Mode Lawn Care, Like the Conway's Roofing, the list goes on.
Oh
We've
yeah,
been super fortunate with our local sponsors getting involved with the wrestling here too. Like
definitely.
it takes a community, right?
It definitely does. And I gotta. I'm actually. You got me thinking about when Coors Banquet. My wife and I and her side of things. Some of us are going out to Colorado shortly after my birthday in July
Oh,
for about
nice.
a week, and I'm like, I had been to St. Louis where the Budweiser brewery is, and I did the tour there, and
Cool.
I asked my wife the other night, I'm like, so Coors got a similar thing, don't they? I'm like, she was like, I think so. You want to do that? I'm like, if we can, yes.
Yeah, it'd be super cool.
Oh yeah.
Free samples.
Hey, yeah, I took advantage of those at the Budweiser one. That's for damn sure. All
Yeah,
right.
I'm definitely making sure the cabbie's driving us home.
Oh yeah. Oh good lord, yeah. I've had to keep that in mind for some of the wrestling shows I've been to because some of the venues sell buckets of beer and yeah, before the kid arrived, I was known for drinking about 3 buckets by myself.
Yeah, having a time.
Oh God, there was one time I literally called my wife because I thought I locked my keys in my car. And as I'm with her on the phone, I'm feeling around like, okay, I'll check one more time. And I'm like, oh, wait, there they are. I'm good.
We're good. We're good.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, even the shows we're doing at the PI Brewing Company, it's an all ages event, but it's a wet dry event. So like everybody who's of age can get a bracelet put on
Yeah,
and they can purchase the beer, right?
that's awesome. You get
Yeah,
people that want to partake can and those that
don't have
don't
to.
need
Yep.
to. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it because, like I mentioned, I want to, you know, I've kind of told my son that, talking with him, I'm like, you don't have to get into this like I do, but if you don't mind going along with me every once in a while,
Yeah, it's
well,
fun.
I want to enjoy it with my boy because that's something I always thought about when
But I said, man, just give it time. It's gonna be
father
those
son bonding
core
time
memories. Yeah, exactly.
for sure. All right, now last but not least here, best advice you have for anybody wanting to any well, you know what? We're gonna I'm gonna switch this up. What is some of the best advice you've been given for running Island Pro Wrestling? Some advice that has been particularly helpful for you.
Don't mind the egos. Everybody's got an ego in this business because they're either a trying to portray a character or seem better than the last guy or trying to sell you on something. So I mean, keeping the egos out of the conversation keeps your focus on what the actual fruition of the show is going to be, and just book the best matches you can for the fans' enjoyment. That's that was the biggest piece of advice. I got that piece of advice from a former WWE talent. He said just book the best show that you can possibly put on for your fans, and if you build it, they will come.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Definitely great because yeah, if you're building intriguing matches, intriguing storylines, you get one person, then they get hooked and they're like, oh man, you got to come see this stuff. And then they bring people in. And
We're
before you
seeing
know
it
it,
now. We're
you're
seeing it
getting
now. Yeah,
that
we're
is
seeing it
awesome.
already. So,
I love it. I love hearing about that.
yeah.
Well, that is about all I have. But before we go, where can people find Island Pro Wrestling social media wise? I know you got the website too.
Yeah, we got islandprowrestling.com, so you can go there for all Island Pro Wrestling information. We got the Facebook, facebook.com/Island Pro Wrestling. We got the YouTube. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Reddit. You can find us on X platform. We pretty well have the main staple social medias on lock. Um, in time, we're going to continue to grow them. The biggest thing I can promote here today is follow us on Twitch. Like right now, I have the Twitch streaming the whole last event. So anybody who missed the last event can at least watch that, get caught up on the storylines that are building there, get familiar with some of the characters. And we're going to be streaming it again on June 7th on the Twitch. So that's twitch.tv/Island Pro Wrestling.
Definitely. We'll get all of that in the description. Want
Yeah,
to,
thanks, bro.
oh, definitely. Want to thank you for taking the time to talk to me tonight. It's been a pleasure learning about Island Pro Wrestling. I'm excited for this show. Game on June 7th. PEI
Brewing
Brewing
Company.
Company.
Yeah,
It's
buddy.
it's it's gonna be some awesome. I'm looking forward to it. And best of luck out there with the future of Island Pro Wrestling. I know I'm gonna be paying attention.
Well, I appreciate that, man. And it's support like we're getting from people like yourself that's going to continue to help us grow this brand. Like, I can't, like, I'm biased here, but like, I really cannot wait to showcase our product to more and more people every time because we're doing it for those people. We're doing it for the
Oh
wrestling
yeah.
fans. So,
Oh yeah. I'm looking forward to it. That is about it. Thank you again.
thanks, Mo.
No, the issue I had with the damn button. Fuck.
That